Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Everybody go ahead, like this video, comment down below. Let me know where you guys are from and who you a fan of. Let's get right into it, man. So basically, Boosie had to sell everything. He had to sell all of his cars individually, the trucks, the SUVs, and the lowriders. And then he had to also sell the Rolex because he needed all that money because he knew the feds was about to sweep. And so that's the only reason, because the whole situation that happened with Duke the Jeweler, everything that had been coming along, you know, his cousins and the people that Boosie hung around, it was time where the things were starting to be revealed, and basically he was trying to clear everything off, like liquidation sale, yard sale, garage sale. Like the reason why people sell off everything like that, if they're in a situation like he is mostly because they're trying to get back as much as they can, because they need to use that to get themselves out the jam. And so that's really what's going on. Like Boosie, for him to auction off his vehicles like that, and he even has some of the jewelry as well, like the pieces that he got from Duke the Jeweler, the jewelry that was still missing, the Rolexes and the $250,000 chain, and the fact that he tried to get his the Bentley truck that he gave to Tootie Raw, he had to take it back and basically put it out on the for sale market. And basically because he already used it and Tootie Raw did too many burnouts in it and everything like that, it's not worth as much anymore. The oil changes on that Bentley is like $11,000. And so what you guys have to understand is that he thinks that, okay, if he needs the $1 million, then if he only has the cars and all that to sell, then that means he's not going to get the full $1 million, even if he had $1 million in cars, because everybody knows that the cars be depreciating like that. And so that's why he's not going to get the full top dollar for it unless it's some type of collector item. And the only ones that are going up is them certain type of Ferraris, the certain type of them old 1960s, them classic cars where they done already depreciated, and now the value is going back up because they're trending. So what you guys got to realize is that Boosie had to put up almost $2 million or $1.5 million worth of stuff for sale, and he had to take a discount. Everybody knows when somebody's trying to sell something and they need the money now, it's like, and they have to hurry, that's when the people are going to come in and they're going to throw them a lowball offer. When they lowball people, it's because they understand that the people are, oh, it's an opportunity. Like they don't need that anymore. They need the money more than they need the item. And they need it fast. So maybe I could offer them half of what they're asking for and they still will take it because they need the money. So when Boosie tried to put that car up for sale for $500,000, the people only offered him $200K for it because they're like, oh, he need the money and we could get it for the low, and they're able to make a flip off of it. So that's why, especially with rich people, especially with people who's supposed to have millions like Boosie, what they were trying to do is that they're like, wait a minute, he's a millionaire and stuff like that, and he says he needs all this money in 48 hours. So what they're going to do is they're going to offer him all low offers, and they're going to try to make it a come up because everybody is getting an opportunity off of the fact that he has to sell everything. It's just like a yard sale or garage sale. If you don't already use the item and you need the cash now and everything like that, then most likely when the people come and offer you like, oh, I'll give you, half for this, or if it's $10, they're like, I'll give you $5, then you'll say yes still, because of the fact that you don't know if there's going to be another person that comes by that's going to be willing to have enough money to even pay for it. And so that's why people, a lot of times, they still take the lowball offer, but it's a lesson to learn, man. In this situation, you have to basically know where, okay, you got to set something aside for a rainy day. The reason why Boosie was in the predicament he was and he needed to come up with millions that quick is because he never set anything aside for a rainy day. I mean, if he did, he wouldn't have had to come up on social media selling everything like that, right? And so that really goes back to the situation where it's like, man, you have to understand that in the time, in the moments, it's like cool to get all the stuff that he done bought and got and like had the whole dealership full of them, right? So just because he went and bought out and splurged out on the dealership, it's like he forgot the fact that, oh, if it's a rainy day where he needs to come up with $1 million to get this and get his head out of waters and to make it so he's not in the hot seat anymore, then he should have had that already set aside. Like, you should have already known, because of the stuff that Boosie gets into. You never know where it's in a situation. But at the end of the day, man, he did what he wanted to do, and now he had to sell everything off to basically recoup that money, and he got a lot less. Where instead, if he would have put some aside for a rainy day and maybe flipped that money up a couple times, he probably would have had no problem up in the mill in 48 hours, because he already made that mill off of money he done put away for a rainy day, and it invested, and it done doubled and tripled up. So that's what you got to pay attention to, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's cool that he was able to give Tootie Rod the car, but he should be like, okay, it's a lesson learned for Tootie Rod, because now it's like, all right, Tootie Rod, he's going to have to understand that they're going to have to take their money from that reality TV show and spend, you know, you could spend whatever, but you got to remember to put some for a rainy day, because you never know what happened. There's always going to be emergency situations. And so that's what ended up happening. The whole situation with Duke put Boosie in a predicament where he had to basically, you know, come up with a way to help out and try to get the chains back. And he had to up money to clear the air. He had to show his condolences. He had to basically pretty much take responsibility of anything that he could have had any type of people feeling a certain way about. And so at the end of the day, man, that's what all this stuff is like, comes down to, is to be prepared for certain situations. You got to be prepared. You have to basically expect the best, but be prepared for the worst. Because at the end of the day, it's not a perfect world. And so that's why you have to be able to practice and prepare and be on point with these things. Because if you always practice and you always prepare, then you will be prepared for when the situation arises, whatever it ends up being. And so that's real important, because a lot of people, they losing sight of the fact that they're not paying attention to the details. They're not crossing the T's and dotting their I's and making sure that everything is on the same page, their whole team on the same page, everybody moving the same way. And so that's what preparation is all about. And so, you know, with Duke, like, he could have prepared a little bit better. He could have had more security, or he could have prepared to be able to realize that Duke and Boosie or whatever, if a fallout happened, or the fact that they didn't let him into the parking lot, he should have prepared and was like, okay, if they can't protect me no more, or if they turn on me, I got to find a way to get out the jam quick. And so really, if you break it down and you really think about that and open your eyes and realize that everything is going to be full circle and revolving, then you will understand that that's exactly what's happening. And so for that reason, you have to keep in mind that this is ongoing. There's going to be more details to come out. So I'm going to be coming out with way more breaking news. So you have to just stay tuned to the channel and make sure you're paying attention to everything and hit that notification bell so you get updated every time. Other than that, make sure you like this video. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to catch you on the next one. I'll see you there.